All right, let's talk about one of the coolest things happening in AI right now. We're going to dive into how you can unlock the real power of large language models. I'm not talking about just using them out of the box. I'm talking about how you can take a super smart general AI and turn it into a specialist, an expert that's custom built just for you. So let's get right into it. So, have you ever thought about this? What if you could build an AI that actually gets your world? One that understands all the unique slang and jargon you use at work, or a tool that can whip through those super dense technical reports you have to read and give you the perfect summary. We're not just talking about using some off-the-shelf AI here. We're talking about crafting an AI that speaks your language and tackles your problems head-on. But here's the catch, right? There's always a catch. On one side, you've got this amazing dream. You're thinking about custom chatbots that sound exactly like your brand, or summarizers that can nail the details in complex legal or medical documents, maybe even super specific coding tools. But then, bam, you hit the reality. And that reality is a wall of massive costs, the need for ridiculously powerful and expensive hardware, and development cycles that just drag on forever. It's enough to make that dream feel completely out of reach for, well, almost everyone. So what's causing this giant disconnect between the dream and the reality? Well, it all comes down to what you could call the billion parameter problem. It's this huge, intimidating wall of traditional fine-tuning. This is the old school way of doing things, and honestly, it's a massive roadblock. Okay, so full fine-tuning. What does that even mean? It means you have to tweak every single one of the billions, and I mean billions with a B, of parameters inside that language model. And to even think about doing that, you need the absolute top-tier, best of the best hardware. We're talking elite GPUs, the NVIDIA A100s or H100s, and you need a crazy amount of video memory, like hundreds of gigabytes. It's just a staggering amount of raw power. And guess what that kind of power costs? Yeah, if you're renting this stuff on the cloud, your bills can easily climb into the tens of thousands of dollars. And get this, that's not for the whole project. That could be the price tag for one single attempt, just one run. Can you imagine dropping that kind of money just to find out your data wasn't quite right and you have to do it all over again? It's not sustainable. No way. And if you've ever actually tried to do this, you know the pain. You spend all your time battling those dreaded out-of-memory errors. And even when you finally get things running, you're stuck waiting for days, sometimes even weeks, just to see if your experiment worked. It absolutely kills any chance to be creative or to just try things out. But what if there's a better way? What if we could just knock down that wall? Well, the good news is we can. This is where the story changes. Welcome to the efficient tuning revolution. This is the key, the thing that finally unlocks the power of custom AI for everybody. So the big idea here is something called parameter efficient fine-tuning, or PEFT for short. Think of it like this. It's the work smarter, not harder approach. Instead of trying to change the entire gigantic model, PEFT is this whole family of really clever tricks that let you fine-tune just a tiny, tiny piece of it. And the results are incredible, all without that insane price tag and hardware headache. Now, leading the charge in this revolution are two rockstar techniques, LoRA and QLoRA. So LoRA is super smart. It basically freezes the huge original model and just plugs in these tiny little adapter layers that you can train. It's like adding a small, specialized tool to a giant toolbox. But then QLoRA comes along and takes it to a whole other level. It does that same clever adapter thing, but it also shrinks the original model way, way down, saving a ton of memory. This is a total game changer because it means you can fine-tune massive models on hardware you can actually afford. And this right here is the magic of PEFT made visual. Look at that. You freeze more than 99% of the model. All that powerful knowledge it already has just stays put. Then you focus all your energy on training this tiny little sliver. We're talking less than 1% of the whole thing. And that's how you get performance that's almost identical to the old expensive way, but for a fraction of the cost and in a fraction of the time. It's just incredibly efficient. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds amazing, but how do I actually do it, right? How do you get from hearing about these cool ideas to actually writing code and building your own AI? Well, that's where having a really practical, hands-on guide is absolutely key. Look, you need a roadmap, a clear step-by-step process. And that's exactly what the book this is all based on, Efficient Fine-Tuning of LLMs, gives you. It just lays it all out. Clear, simple steps you can follow using the Hugging Face tools everyone loves. It takes you from the very beginning, setting up your environment, right through to the moment you hit go on the training. It makes something that sounds super complex feel totally doable. And the whole philosophy of the book is right there in the preface. It's all about MVP-focused, actionable steps, cutting through the academic jargon. This isn't some dense theoretical textbook. Nope, it's a practical toolkit. It's designed to get developers, data scientists, anyone who's interested to stop reading and start building, like right now. All right, so let's get to the fun part. Once you know how to do this stuff, what can you actually build? Let's talk about some of the incredible, real-world things you could create with these techniques, starting today. First up, imagine a chatbot that is worlds better than any generic one you've ever used. We're talking about a chatbot that knows all your company's inside jokes and acronyms, that has your brand's personality down perfectly and gives super accurate answers because it's pulling them right from your documents, your knowledge base. Or how about this? An automated summarizer built for your specific field. Think about a tool that can take a 100-page legal document or a super dense medical study and just give you the crucial points instantly and with amazing accuracy. That's not just saving you a bit of reading time, it's a massive productivity boost. It's literally saving hours and hours of an expert's valuable time. And look, these ideas are really just scratching the surface. The book Efficient Fine-Tuning of LLMs is laid out to be your complete guide, your roadmap to take you from just starting out all the way to mastering the stuff. It really takes you on the full journey. You start with the basics, the foundations of PEFT. Then you dive deep into getting your data right, which is so important. Then comes the hands-on coding. And it doesn't stop there. It covers how to scale things up, how to deploy your model, and even gets into more advanced stuff. It's truly the whole shebang, from start to finish. And really, that's what it all boils down to. Unlocking the power of custom AI, but doing it on your hardware and within your budget. This is about breaking down those old barriers and putting the control back in your hands. So, that leaves us with the big question, the really important one. Now that you know this is possible, now that these tools are within your reach, what are you going to build first? What amazing specialized AI is rattling around in your head? The field is wide open, and the power to build it is finally right there for the taking.